everyone. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be doing a collab with my twin Heather, aka Crazy Beautiful MUA. We decided this collab is going to be a shop our stash style using high-end products. We sent each other a list of 5 products we own in each category, and then I chose which products Heather is going to be using and she chose what I'm going to be using. So if anyone is new here, welcome. Heather and I joke around saying we are each other's twins. Do we look alike? No. Do we both love and enjoy makeup, have YouTube channels, have a husband with the same name, and many other things in common? Yes, we do. I'm going to link her channel in the eye above. It would mean the world to me if you would go to her channel, watch her video, leave a comment, and just show her some love. All right, let's get started with the primer she selected for me. This here is from Dew of the Gods, and it is Tahitian Breakfast. It's a dewy collagen face primer. It smells really good. Don't ask me to describe it. Kind of like a soft, fruity, floral, I don't know, just really good. I'm just going to slather it on my face, and I just remembered I forgot to put my hair up. So once my hands are no longer goopy, I will put my hair up, zoom on in, and come back and move on to foundation. This primer is super moisturizing, so if you have dry skin like I do, I think you would enjoy it. The foundation she selected for me is from MAC. This here is the Studio Sculpt, and I have it in the shade NW20. It has been a hot minute since I've used this foundation. I think I am not NW20. That is looking a little dark, very dark. I have very bright lights, so you're probably saying, that doesn't look dark. It's a hair dark, but I did apply some fake tanner on my face today, so hopefully that will help out. I'm sure if I drag it down my neck, we will be fine. But I love discovering products I own, because I own a lot of them that I haven't used in a while, just to remind myself what I think about the product. I'm just going to use a damp sponge and pounce it in all over my face. Alright, let's take a gander. It has a beautiful finish. It is a hair too dark. I know you're saying, what? My lights really wash me out, but in real life, it's just a hair too dark, but nothing that I can't get away with wearing in public. All right, let's move on to contour bronzer. She selected for me the contour sticks from Makeup by Mario. And guess what I did? In the recent VIB sale at Sephora, the one that happens in November, I bought one. But guess what? I forgot. I bought one in the spring VIB sale. Yeah. Do you own too much makeup when you buy something you already own? I did it, but at least, don't know how this happened. I got them in different shades. So the one I think I bought in the spring is light, and this one is in medium, which honestly look very, very similar. All right, let me do some swatches in case anyone's on the fence as to which shade to pick up. They are very, very similar. Okay, so here we have the shade in light, and here is medium. In real life, they look a little closer. On camera, there is a slight difference. I mean, there is a difference, but honestly, if you're fair, I think you could get away with medium because you can sheer it out, particularly if you use a damp sponge. And correction, this is in light medium, not medium. All right, let's actually use light medium so that I can eat crow when it doesn't blend out. No, I think I used this once and it was fine. Also, the foundation is a little deeper, so we can, you know, get away with it. I'm just pouncing it on, and then I'm going to grab the same sponge. Wait, do I want a sponge? No, let's start with a brush, and then we will move on to a sponge. Yeah, see, that's not too deep at all. And I think you could probably add more if you want it a little deeper. Go in with a lighter hand if you want it a little softer. Yeah, it's kind of practically disappeared, but I prefer a contour bronzer that, you know, isn't Ham City, and I will take my time to build it up to the shade I want. Oh, I went straight in with the sponge. Can you tell I'm not a big brush user? I love my sponges. I love how it feels when you bounce it on your face. It's very cooling. Okay. Am I balanced? Yeah, I think I need a little more over here. All right, let me know if you have tried this product from Makeup by Mario yet, or if it's one of those products you've been eyeing but just haven't pulled the trigger on. He doesn't do sales as often as other brands do. He's done a few more this year, but when he came out a couple years ago, I kept waiting. Do a sale, do a sale. And then you always, of course, have the Sephora sales to snag something at a discount. All right, let's move on to blush. Heather selected for me from One Size the Cheek Clapper, and I have this in Phat SS. In case you haven't seen the packaging, it is a beautiful pink hard plastic, not the cheap kind. Does have a mirror, does not sadly open all the way up, and there are 3 shades in here. This is a cream blush, and then these 2 are powders. I'm going to go in with the cream shade. I'm just going to take a dense brush and hope that I don't go too ham, and then I'm going to top it with one of the powdery shades. All right. Okay, that is really pretty, very pigmented. And I'm going to quickly grab my sponge and tap it in because she's a little, I don't want to say too dark, but yeah, there it goes. It was a little intense how I applied it. But that's why I love having a damp sponge, particularly one I use for the foundation, because there's a little bit of foundation remaining and it really helps to blend and make sure nothing is like too bam in your face. No judgment if you like stuff bam in your face. I just, when it comes to blush, I can go a little too ham. All right, now I'm going to go into this middle shade here. The bottom shade has a little shimmer to it and it's a little too peachy. Ooh, that's looking really bright. Let's just try to gently. I think I got too much on the brush. Oh, yes. All right. Ooh, this is what I mean by going too ham. I'm just going to grab a clean brush, 0 product, and just, you know, really go into there and try to buff that out. Wow, I'm looking like a doll. This sponge is going to do some magic, and guess what? I just realized why my under eyes look like caca. I forgot to put concealer on. This is not the first time I've done that. So the concealer Heather selected for me is from NATASHA DENONA. This is the Hy-Glam concealer. I have 2 of them. One in the shade N1 and one in N3. N3 is too dark. N1 is a tad too dark. You know, I can wear it, but if I could go back in time, I would pick a lighter shade, although I want to say N1 is the lightest shade. All right, here is N3, and below it is N1. N3 seems to be very close to the NW20 foundation that I use, so I'm going to start with that and get it almost like a color corrector, and then on top of it I'm going to add some of the N1. I'm going to start with a brush and just kind of tap it in, and then I'm going to finish up with a sponge. Oof, that blush is, yeah, I think I may go back in with my sponge and fix it, but alright. Got that blended out. I need to turn this around because look how red that is from the blush tapping. Warning or advisory, the Cheek Clapper blush is super pigmented, so just be forewarned. Alright, now I'm just going to add a little bit of the N1, kind of more in the inner corner. And let's see if that can brighten slightly. It's just not as light as I normally wear for concealer. Not that it's bad, it's just I think N1 actually matches my skin tone more, and I like to go like a shade lighter just to brighten. But I own the products, so I will use them. Alright, let's see if we can't fix the cheeks slightly more. Alright, let's just pretend that didn't happen and move along to highlighter. The highlighter Heather picked for me is the Check My Glow from Give by Gwen Stefani. If you haven't seen what this looks like before, it's quite interesting. It has 3 different shades in here. There is a pink, a green, and a yellow, which none of those colors really you want to put on your cheeks. Well, maybe a pink, but I'm just going to take the brush and just swirl it all around and hope I don't get more green than, say, the pink. But let's see what this looks like. Okay, on the cheeks, it's kind of more of a slightly golden undertone and is beautiful. I think it may be popping out a little more than normal because my blush is extra today. But that is beautiful. I'm going to also take same sponge and try to blend out the edges so it's not quite a harsh strip there. Alright, now we can move on to the eye look. Originally, Heather selected a palette from ABH. I wasn't in the mood for ABH. I really wanted her to pick NATASHA Denona. She wanted to switch out, I forget, I think it was also her eyeshadow palette. Anyway, long story short, we said sure, do whatever. So I went for NATASHA Denona's I Need a Nude palette because this is the newest NATASHA Denona in my collection, and this will be the 3rd time I'm using it. I really enjoy it, and I don't care. You've seen a couple videos. I really love this palette, and so I'm going to take any and every excuse I can to use it. It is a beautiful kind of cool tone, neutral nude with some pinks. Yeah, the name of the palette is appropriate with I Need a Nude. I'm going to try and use different shades than I have in the past, but my memory is that of a Nat, so I don't know. Let's start with this kind of peachy pink shade. It's possible I've used that before, but we will find out. I'm already dabbed it on. I forgot to put a primer on. No big deal. I'm only going out to dinner with my husband. No place fancy. He was craving a blooming onion, so we're going to Outback. Yeah, very fancy place. They're lucky I have makeup on when I show up there. Okay, that's really pretty. It's kind of a cross between peach and pink. Beautiful. I'm just going to pinch the brush and whatever is remaining. I'm going to get that underneath my lower lash line. I'm now going to go into this shade here, which is called Vague, and get that on the outer corner just to deepen it up slightly. Don't know if that's dark enough, but it's bleeding a little more, I don't know what you'd call that color. It's not quite peach, not quite brown. It's a little cooler toned. I just think it's pretty, and we're just gonna stick it right on the edge there, and then again drag it under the lash line. And my only one small mini complaint is that there's just this one deeper shade in this palette, so I'm going in with that to really get the outer part just a little darker. I say that because if you only have one deep shade, then kind of all of the eye looks look a little similar-ish, but I still love the palette, you know, don't get me wrong. It's gorgeous. The formula is really nice. Just tapping almost like a line to kind of draw the eye up, and then I will take a fluffier brush and blend it in with the other shadows. Alright, yeah, it looks crazy right now, but once you blend, it will be fine. same brush, because A, I don't like washing my brushes, and B, it's going to blend into those other colors anyway, so you might as well just use the same brush. All right, I'm doing a combination of sweeping and tapping because I don't want it to blend away. You can do that if you have a color. If you blend too much, it kind of gets a little muddy, but if you kind of press and tap, it will keep the intensity and help it blend. My blending is not as good as one thought. Also, that's looking a little more black than, it's not black, but it's looking black. So I'm going to go into this kind of medium brown shade and go on the same brush and just kind of help things out. I also have very puffy, crepey skin, and sometimes the folds and the shadows, it just makes everything look like I don't know how to blend eyeshadow. More so than actually I don't know how to blend eyeshadow. It just makes it look a little worse. Age is not fun when it comes to makeup, so that's okay. If you are struggling, just go back in. Just keep blending. Eventually you will get it to look good. At least I just keep doing it until it looks decent. And yes, we're going to stop there, or else I'll keep going, and we're going to select a shimmer shade. So my go-to favorite shimmer shade is this light soft pink. I think I've used it every time. I'm really wanting to use it right now, but let's use a different one. All right, let's go in to this deeper shimmer called Whisper and see what that looks like. Okay, beautiful. And I'm just gonna set it down kind of right in the corner above my lash line. Okay, that is beautiful. Don't know that that was the best shade to go with kind of the rosy pink, but it's already on my eyes, and I'm gonna go in, ooh, goodness, I gotta do it. Go back into that pinky one, and did not wipe off my finger, so it's probably not extra pink, but we will just blend. And then I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush and just get everything really blended in, because right now I'm looking like a tripod. I got dark pink shimmer and no bueno. Alright, if you don't know by now, I am not an MUA, but guess what? Heather is. Alright, I'm going to go back in and use the highlighter on my brow bone, grab a clean brush, and swirl again, trying not to get too much of that green shade. Just get this right there. Okay. It's interesting how it looks kind of beigey on the skin. When you look at the pan, it's like green, pink, yellow. I'm also going to use the highlighter in my inner corner, although it is a NATASHA DENONA palette. Why? Too late. Not blingy enough. Grabbing NATASHA, and let's do this shimmer shade here, which is called Sheen. Honestly, I'd be so happy if this palette had like 5 of those pans was that really soft pinky shimmer, because I know I'm going to hit pan on that before any other shade. Alright, let's move on to eyeliner. So when I sent the list of products for Heather to choose from, at that point in time, I didn't own at least 5 high-end gel eyeliners, so she didn't pick one for me. I just was gonna use any eyeliner, but guess what? I recently got a Charlotte Tilbury mystery box, and it came with a gel eyeliner. So I'm going to play an audible, or whatever the sport analogy is, and just use this one here, because actually the liquid eyeliner she chose for me is a product from Charlotte Tilbury, so you know, we'll just say that eyeliner was Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm not doing anything I shouldn't do. By the way, this is the Exagger-Eyes, and the benefit or bonus of grabbing this is it is duo ended. So one end was black, and this end is kind of a creamy champagne with a very subtle shimmer. And I'm going to pop that on the lower lash line. I'm also going to dot a little. Oh no, I broke the tip. Alright, note to self. Don't put it in your inner corner because you'll break the tip. At least it's sharpened really nicely. I have the eye pencil from Ofra where I like the formula, but sharpening it because it's plastic, it gets so jagged up top. This was really smooth and sharpened really easily. Alright, and also now that I sharpened it, it's easier to put in the lower lash line. Alright, now let's move on to the liquid liner, also from Charlotte Tilbury. This here is the Feline Flick, and I used it in a recent video I filmed that won't go up for another week or so. I really like this eyeliner. It has a super long, I think it's felt tip, but it's really long, which for me makes it easier to lay down the liquid liner. Comes to a very nice point. It is very creamy, liquidy. That sounds weird, but in a good way. I mean, look, while I'm talking, I was able to lay that down. Doesn't skip. It's really nice. Now, I'm going to try and do a wing here. A very small wing. I'm the worst at wings. So, cross your fingers. Alright, good enough. Let's move on to the other eye. Alright, let me do some cleanup on the sides of my eyes, and then I will pop off camera, recurl my lashes, touch up my mascara, come back, and we will do the lip products. So the lipstick Heather chose for me is from Huda Beauty, and this is in the shade Sweet Cheeks. It is, what do you expect? A kind of nude shade, which if you know me, you know me. If you're new, welcome. Yeah. That does go beautiful. Alright, I am not a one lip product type of a girl. I always put lip gloss on top of lipstick, even though this is very shiny and moisturizing. I just have to put a topper on it. She selected for me from Pat McGrath Labs the lip gloss here. What is this one called? It is the Lust Gloss. So which color do I want to use? This one's pink. This one's my dream color. Let's start with the pink, and if it's too dark, I can top it with that lighter shade. If you've never tried these, they smell like cake batter. That color is like perfection to align with the Huda lipstick. I think it looks beautiful. Alright, so here's the final look. I think everything looks beautiful with the exception of how much extra blush I slapped on my face. The NATASHA DENONA concealer, I think I put too much on. It's not the best in my opinion, at least for my under eyes, which I have a lot of fine lines. It's okay, but if I were to zoom in, which I'm not, because don't worry, it's not looking spectacular. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you own or use any of these products, if we are twinsing on any of the shades, if you are now inspired to go maybe put something in your Sephora cart just to, you know, wish and hope for, and maybe Santa Claus will bring it to you, or you can gift it to yourself. Yeah. I would love it if you would leave me a comment and let me know what you think of today's look. Alright, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so by now, I would love if you would subscribe. For those who have, thank you so much. Remember to click that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. And if you can do me a big favor, clicking the thumbs up, it really does help with my channel to grow. Alright, thanks everyone!